Savez-vous sont vos administrateurs de système? Nous non plus. Bienvenue au podcast de Patch et Switch. Trois gars qui ne pourraient pas survivre dans la forêt canadienne vous divertissent avec leurs discussions sur leur vie professionnelle.
Oh, we tried.
We tried.
The regular announcer boy / girl / person, unfortunately, was not available today. And we're standing in and trying something out. And I figured, why don't we do this introduction in French? I mean, I'm in Gatineau, which is just across the Ontario border into Quebec. Pierre is from Saint-Jean, just outside of Montreal, from Montreal. Well, we had some technical difficulties, which is on par for a Patch and Switch show.
Hey,
Lord,
Pierre.
how you doing?
Pierre.
I unmuted my mic, and then somehow it muted itself again.
No, anyway. And you have the wrong mic on right now because you're echoing too.
Yeah. Oh no. You switch to your shotgun mic. Here we go. Technical difficulties, but hey,
How's that?
There we go. It's a Friday. It might be the morning if you're coming up from the Pacific. You might be in the evening if you're coming over from Europe or from the Eastern Coast. My friends in the cottage that we're at just finished a nice brunch in the other room over there. I'm coming to you from some kind of a sun deck area. Not bad. Where are you coming from, Mr. Jared?
I am coming from the guest room in my sister's place on Long Island.
Long Island. Not bad.
On the island.
Not bad.
Longs.
And Pierre, I can tell you that your mic is still muted because it's got a red ring on it.
Yeah, but he should be on the shotgun.
Is he on the shotgun now? Has he figured that one out?
I don't think he's figured it out yet.
I can't hear any of you.
We can hear you now just fine.
Yeah, you sound great. He'll figure it out.
We can hear you.
Yeah,
you
and we have confirmation from Cooper's human JFlow that there are no echoes, and so we're not disturbing the Coopers, which is also very, very good. Fantastic.
Yep. And I guess
welcome to Friday, folks. We'll wait till Pierre does a restart or something like that. Hello to the folks again. If you're watching us live on Twitch, you're welcome to join in and join as part of the chat. It's always kind of fun. We've got some folks that have joined us, like Absablog and Lootly. DJ Eddie, good friend, has joined as well. Fair Brit from across the pond. Go Gadget 360. Kowski. Lint Monkey. That's an interesting word. I like that one there. Muland is here. And Mr. Ledwig. Is Mr. Ledwig, where is he? He is...
St. Louis.
I thought he was on the West Coast, wasn't he?
No, he's St. Louis.
He's back in St. Louis again. He's traveling, so I don't know if he's actually back in the home base.
Oh, no. They're back from that.
Oh, okay. And we got Soren Fisker has joined, and of course the dedicated diehard, our good friend Visio MVP from the other side of the border where I am, back in the Ottawas is here as well. So again, feel free to join the chat, say hello. Scott has confirmed he is in fact home, so we should tell all the burglars to not go to his house because he is back, and we shall try to get this show started. We don't know where Pierre is; he might come back, but hey, man. So you're out east as well, you're saying? You're not in the normal spot. I don't see the RV and the Jayhawk going on.
Nope, the Jayhawk is back in the rain, I've figured out. It is, so I actually had an alert last night.
Alert?
At about, from my cameras.
Oh, yeah?
That someone was in my RV.
I didn't know that. Good thing I now know, because I won't go and toilet paper your RV while you're gone.
I appreciate that. But... I got an alert that it says person seen on interior camera. So I, woke up and I, checked. It took an audio cue, and then when the audio picked up, it turned on the light on the camera inside the RV, which then, something moved.
Yeah. Alert! We're under attack.
Exactly. So it was raining so hard though that the camera or the audio capture, I had 170 events throughout the evening.
Oh yeah, wow, that's a lot of stuff going on, man. You got to check your sensitivity on that one there.
I've just reduced it and I've gotten less alerts, but it's still raining pretty hard back in Seattle right now, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sure it's not the neighbors throwing rocks at the camper?
Already checked that, and it's not the raccoons that came and checked on my outdoor kitchen to make sure everything was nice and tidy.
Yeah, so I am long overdue to invite myself over to the Jayhawk. So I apologize. When you're back, I
You
want
and
to
Mr.
come by
Chuckles should come over.
and come and visit
Yeah.
and see how things are set up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And again, from the chat, we see that Scott Legwig was off at Disneyland, did a little bit of a detour through Vegas. Apparently, he was checking up on the other half of the show, Mr. Joey Snow, because Joey's now a Vegas person now. We all know that. And we've also got Exchange SME just happened to join in saying happy Friday, everybody. All good. All good. The episode name today is from last week's episode, and it's Bubbles FunctionPunction. 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's more than 2 weeks. It's been a month.
4 weeks ago. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's wow. This is
because you took the last Friday off and Joey got busy, and we're like, let's just skip.
Makes sense. So for the last time, it is Bubbles FunctionPunction and Concatenate as the name of the show, and name the next episode. All you have to do is inside a Twitch chat, put in the exclamation mark or bang, as they say, type in the word, as in word, and then whatever WorkSafe word, please make it WorkSafe. You can want to use to be able to have it included inside a. Yes, you do have to make it WorkSafe. As you can even tell, I'm not even branded today. Like I'm wearing my brewery from Hawaii, from Maui, as my shirt today. So
nice.
Not too bad. But of course, the hat always comes with me. So one of the nephews that are here is only knee-high tall. I came up with my hat down the hallway, and he says, "Oh, nice hat. Are you a cowboy?" So I had to instruct him on the fact that this is not, in fact, a cowboy hat. It is a Tilly hat known as a T3 that is part of the brand. And he just kind of looked at me with glassy eyes and went on to something else.
Yeah, you need to add some more feeder for the power generating hamster. You're starting to lag.
I'm lagging. Well, that's courtesy of SpaceX with their Starlink. We'll see. We'll see if it holds up because we do have internet. We'll see.
Wait a minute. Are you blaming Elon Musk?
No, not at all. They actually, where I currently live, they actually make these. They have a couple of factories where they make the Starlink devices just up in our neck of the woods, which is kind of cool.
Yep, actually, their engineering team's up there too.
Gadget 360 is asking if Rick was in the one of our treehouse meeting rooms.
This could be a treehouse. I would pick up the laptop and do a 360 view right now, but the cables are attached, and I have no guarantee I'm going to get them back in the right spot. Basically, this is a really nice elevated, screened-in structure that's attached to the house with some doors that I can close. But there's no guarantee I'm going to get a random cottage guest just kind of come in behind me here and sit down. I'll introduce them, and we can talk tech if you want. That'll work.
And so live audience, nice.
Possibly live audience, yes. Yeah. But I'm taking advantage of the fact that we can do some remote work. I'm down this neck of the woods because I was checking in on my dad. He's 85 inside of assisted living home. So went to spend some time with him while I still could. And I've been working Pacific time hours in Eastern Standard Time. So my day starts a little bit later and continues past dinner time down this way. So it's been fun.
I did the opposite.
My regular days, you mean?
I've been working the Eastern time zone, and I told my team specifically, I'm working Eastern time zone, so at 2 p.m, I'm outie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We'll see it. So I'm running this off of my Snapdragon Copilot Plus PC from Microsoft, and I just realized when I was trying to adjust the settings for the microphone and for the sound and stuff like that, that I forgot that they actually have capabilities for improving the webcam that's on there.
Yep.
So I can go in and put in a portrait level blur to get depth perception that goes on.
Like this?
Yeah, which is kind of neat. Or the standard blur where everything is just like a wall. It does a pretty good job of being able to carve out the hat, which is kind of neat. But then I also found out that they have these creative filters as well. So I can have like illustrated. Apparently, this means I'm an illustration now, or I can go with where's the other one here? There's an animated. So this is like
Only your background kind of changed. You
background
did.
changes. My face gets a little bit cleaner, I guess. Interesting. I've got a water filter, so
Yeah.
the background's going on there. But the one that I think is kind of creepy but kind of cool is the eye tracking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking down at the corner, but according to this, I'm still looking straight ahead. And no matter what I do, I'm always going to be looking at the camera.
Yes.
That's kind of
Yeah,
creepy.
but if when you move your head to the side, your eyes kind of like
Pop
that's
into the
a little creepy.
Yeah. As
I love
GoGo
that.
Gadget 360 said, if you would have listened to last week's testing and production, we talked all about this.
What? See, I'm sorry. I'm not a subscriber. I need to subscribe. Who puts that one on again? Is that
Two idiots.
two guys? They just take
Two
over
guys.
the channel and they do their own show, right?
Exactly.
Hey, you gave us admin rights, so we're taking advantage of it.
That was my first mistake.
Yes, it was.
Or at least even sharing the PIN code to be able to log into the site again.
The worst thing you did was what you did this week that was announced on LinkedIn.
What was that?
You promoted that guy.
Well, yeah, that's kind of work stuff. So
Yeah.
how about we switch over to the first segment of the show? We're done.
Why don't we?
Up to the first segment show, otherwise known as From the Trenches, stuff you've been doing while you're working and doing stuff throughout the day and the week, how things have all wrapped up. So it's been a long time since we checked in for things, and I will give a tip of the hat to Mr. Pierre Roman, even though he screwed up on the audio intro. I'll make sure to add that to his performance review next time.
Yep.
He was recognized for the work he's been doing over the years and long service to the organization and the firm, and he was promoted and announced on Monday that he was promoted to principal. So what does that mean for you, Mr. Pierre?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
wow.
That's
no,
nice.
I mean, it doesn't change my job. It doesn't change what I do. It just means I get to maybe mentor some of the more junior and senior people a bit more. Try to elevate my relationships with the product groups in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of my day-to-day, I'm still going to be making content and still going to be promoting the work that the engineering team is doing and trying to get some feedback from the community and bring that back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe I get $1.83 more.
Nice. $1.83, not $3.80.
Yeah.
So that works. Yeah, the concept of moving up from a senior to a principal is you're definitely much more independent. You're going off and you're identifying problems and projects to solve those problems without necessarily having to have any resources to be able to complete them, but finding teams to pull together to be able to do stuff. So solving complex fun stuff.
Yep.
Absolutely is just asking if you're going to actually get business cards, and I don't think we've actually ever printed business cards before.
I do.
So, yeah, he actually has a business card. That's interesting.
Wow.
I would not have thought of that.
The last batch is still here, and I don't think I've opened it yet.
Yeah. But I did see that you updated your LinkedIn, so that's a good thing. Congrats.
Yep.
Well, see, that's the thing with the LinkedIn is I just went to update my title, and then I went, okay. I didn't realize that by doing that, it would actually post to the feed and to all my contacts that I'm starting a new job. So I guess I didn't read all the prompts.
Yeah. All right. I think it's called RTFM, my friend.
Yep.
Exactly.
Read the manual. Read the manual.
Read the bleep manual.
And then also, like Pierre, what have you been working on this week?
Content, and more content.
For what?
Building demos for the AI tour that starts in September, and I think where the first city is going to be Mexico City.
Mexico and Sao Paulo. Yes.
Mexico, Sao Paulo, and I believe also Bogota.
Bogota as well. Okay, down South America.
Yeah.
Our team is building a bunch of content for it. We've actually got a track of content where in select cities you're going to be able to see some of this content if you happen to see the Microsoft AI tour out and about over the course of the year. What's the topic on your session, man?
Topic of my session is how to leverage AI to manage your existing environments. Because the AI thing is great, but IT pros don't necessarily get, like, it's great for if you're writing PowerShell and using Copilot to kind of like help you, like what's the regex formula to get the third octet of an IP address? Because I suck at regex, so this is fantastic for me. But in your day-to-day, when you're managing existing environments, networking, VMs, and so on, what does the AI do for you?
Right.
So
the perspective is you're basically using AI tooling and using AI tooling to be able to make your job easier, extend the scope and span of the stuff you can do, and applying it to managing your infrastructure across the board. And are you working just inside of examples on scripting? You got other stuff that you can share as an example?
Where it's there are some scripting. There's learning about the platform. So for system administrator or sysadmins or IT pros or whatever you want to call us. And then they are the other team, the dev teams. And Jared is very familiar with that, where the dev teams, they come up with a solution and a workload, and they do their little thing, and then they package it in a zip file or whatever, and then they kind of throw it over the wall.
That doesn't happen anymore. No.
It still does. In some cases, there's a team in between that's like the SRE or the DevOps engineers that kind of like automate the deployment. But once it's actually deployed and in production, how do you manage it? But also in our session is like, okay, so I get this app or this like workload, and I have no idea how to deploy it. So you can ask Copilot, what's the best way of doing this? And Copilot will say, oh, so based on this workload and what you gave me in terms of context, because context is king, especially in that area, we'll recommend is the first thing you can do is containers and ACRs and Kubernetes. And then you go, okay, well, I've never set up one of those. So how do I do this? And it's like, oh, would you like me to guide you through it? And then the AI kind of like takes over and guides you through the process of all the stuff that you need to do in order to set up the infrastructure on which that application is going to sit on. So that's kind of cool. It's not just the scripting, but there's that part. And then we're used to managing old workloads that were sitting on VMs and on IIS or Nginx or whatever web platform you want to use on a VM. But we know how to like monitor the CPU on the VM, monitor the memory usage on the VM. But what happens when your devs move to a web app that in a managed platform? And then you come in on Monday morning, like Jared woke up this morning with a bunch of alerts, but you wake up with a bunch of alerts that your app is slow or your app rebooted and you're like something happened and you're like, okay, so how the hell do I manage this? How do I monitor this? Well, they are now AI-driven tools to kind of like guide you through that. And we're going to cover that.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm actually learning quite a bit. So it's kind of cool for me too.
Nice. Jared has been very pensively not saying a single word as you're talking right now. So as a member of the SRE team and also doing other management stuff like that.
I'm no longer an SRE.
Oh yeah,
I'm a platform engineer.
yep. Next level on.
No,
You gotta-
it's a different view on SRE. SRE was definitely something developed by Google and is used a lot in the large websites like LinkedIn, Netflix. Platform engineering is the way we're talking about it, especially from Microsoft within DevDiv and One Engineering Systems, because we build whole platforms, not just run one website or aspects of a website. We, like I personally run systems that are our builders, testers, and source code control systems. None of those are really websites, but I'm using a lot of the same concepts. So, but at the same time, I'm like, we're doing so much these days with old technology running on newer technology, and it's just it's fun to talk about. Unfortunately, those conversations have to be in our executive briefing center. We can't talk about it out in the public.
Right. Cool stuff. So content-wise, we've got stuff being built. Pierre's one of the 4 people that are building stuff for the infrastructure track. We've also got Oren Thomas doing some stuff for preparing your environments for bringing AI workloads inside of those environments, be they on-premises or inside of your hyperscaler cloud environments, which is kind of cool. You got Sonia Cuff is making some sessions specifically on FinOps and managing budget expectations and estimations and controls for your AI workloads and other workloads inside of Azure specifically. And then we've also got Vinicius and Josh is doing some stuff. No, not Josh. Sorry, Paul.
Josh is working with me.
Yeah, Josh is on yours. Paul's doing some stuff with Vinicius on managing and using cloud native technologies, AKS and others, for your infrastructure, your AI workloads as well, or AI apps. So cool stuff coming to a city potentially near you. We'll see.
But in their case, it's more about if you're building an AI workload, how do you manage it? Not leveraging AI to do your work.
Manage your infrastructure.
Yeah.
Different pivot. We're trying to cover all the different pivots because, again, as I said episodes ago, AI is around. It's another set of tools. We have to understand how to learn, how to be able to manage. If it makes sense to bring it into your organization, how to bring it in, what to use. I'm on a Copilot Plus PC. It's got an NPU inside of it potentially to go off and do these things with the local version of Copilot that's on here. Or you've got Copilot on the enterprise side, just looking at your enterprise data, keeping it inside of your own sphere of roles-based access control that you're allowed to go off and access and do stuff with. So everything is inside of this kind of space. Learn how to use tools, make your jobs easier, figure out how it's relevant to you and how you do your workloads. Different cycles compared to our friends on the dev sides, which are building these different things, building and using LLM models and RAG models to be able to go off and specialize stuff. So the AI tour has content for the devs. It's now also got content for the infrastructure folks and even some content for the security folks too. Thank you very much for our sponsors, Microsoft and the AI Tour, for joining this episode.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored, but they pay our salary. So in essence, they are sponsoring the show because they're paying our salary.
We have no budget.
Yeah, I know. And as you mentioned, we've been doing stuff for rewards this week at Microsoft internally. So I've been doing rewards conversations with people, the manager type stuff. And I'm also
we get rewards.
You get rewards, you get promoted potentially, and that sort of thing. So I'm doing those kind of conversations, but then I've been still very much busy inside of the larger Microsoft Ignite planning phase for the stuff going on in Chicago. I released a video yesterday for my Throwback Thursdays, a little bit late because of other situations at work and timing and scheduling stuff, where I talked about the Miracle Mile. Always fun. Go visit that one there. We literally were on a traffic median in the middle of a 6-lane road. And that's where we filmed that particular talking point episode. And I'm still surprised we didn't get hit by anybody. Even though we were on the spot where you could stand. It was still nice. That's always fun. Content as plans are underway. I'm actually preparing to go off and give another insider preview MVP briefing on Monday that only MVPs can attend to kind of see where we're at with the content and plans, which is going to be kind of fun. So I'm building some decks for that kind of stuff that's going on right now. And then also just working on more logistics for things for pre-day conference content and breakout plans all out different areas and things. And Mr. Jared, you're saying you're working alternate time, but still doing all the stuff that you're doing in the platform engineering world?
Oh yeah, it's been it's been an interesting week. It's been an interesting year this year, given some of the things that we have announced as some of our initiatives that we're on. So it's been a lot of work to get done this year. Not a lot of time to get it done.
Yeah.
So, and then
as
also,
always, the way it works. Man.
As always. And then also I have, this month I had 3 briefings with customers before I left for New York. And then I have 2 coming up right when I get back. So it's going to be some, you talk about building content. I have to build different content.
You just reminded me of something. Yeah, no. You just reminded me of something. It's been a while since I've spoken at the EBC World. That stands for Executive Briefing Center at Microsoft. It's this internal conference, in case people don't know, it's an internal conference building, conference hall, if you will. But it has been set up to be able to do executive briefings with select customers. It's a really prestigious speaking opportunity for people that speak there. I don't know why, but they somehow let Jared continue to speak there for some reason. But he's one of the top freaking speakers every year. So kudos to you, my friend, for pulling that kind of stuff off at the EBC. It's no big, it's a serious kudos. Like I'm not, I'm not trying to belittle it in the slightest. It's big. But you're going to have some competition, my friend, because I was voluntold by Joey that I need to start speaking there. And there's new content that's going to be available in the coming year, talking about our Security Foundations Initiative, SFI work.
Yep.
So there's some new content and that's going to be available. They've asked me to step in and deliver some because I'm local. So I actually have to clean up and possibly present without a hat on, which I don't know if I can do.
Oh,
but
you can present with a hat on. You don't need to. Yeah, you'll be
fine. We'll see. We'll see.
You and I can chat.
But,
you and I can chat about it.
Man, they have they actually have like a rack of suit jackets you can put on if some particular customers prefer you to have a certain type of attire and you're not wearing it in time. So
I always ask the account team about it. I've only had one account team ask me to wear a suit.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, you meet with the account teams, you establish the content, they build the whole curriculum of what you're talking about. They bring in the different speakers. It's a pretty It's a really
but that was it was a very prestigious bank from Europe that everyone in the room was in. You know, I had my suit from the Men's Warehouse. They obviously didn't have their suits from the Men's Warehouse. They were from
very
the big labels.
Tailored.
But the fact that I even wore a suit was like, wow, okay. Whereas the person I was co-presenting with at that time, who was a VP, came in shorts and a polo shirt.
Oops. Didn't talk to the account team. Do a shout out there to Johnny Chips. I want to do a shout out to Johnny Chips. It's been a while since we've seen him. Saying happy Friday. Good to see you, Mr. Johnny Chips, out in the UK's. And GoGo Gadget 360 was asking, hey, is the EBC building the one with the wall of service awards, right? And the answer is yes. That's the basement or the EBC is technically above it, but sometimes they use the rooms downstairs as well for larger things.
That's the conference center. So the lower floor is a conference center, and the upper floor is the EBC.
They've expanded a piece for an experiential thing inside the conference center that the EBC uses down there because of space. I noticed last time I was in there.
That's going to change.
Yeah, we'll see.
They're moving into the new buildings too.
Oh yeah, to the new construction. Nice. Well, I mean, part of that, the after July 1st is also another thing that traditionally happens at Microsoft, known as reorg timeframe. So the first couple of months after July 1st, which is our fiscal year, reorgs happen. And just in passing news, the group that we belong to, Pierre and I belong to, we used to be under President Charlotte Yarkoni, who was responsible for commerce and ecosystems. And they announced that we were moving out from under her, and now we're inside of Azure Core. Like, I'm literally back in the team that I used to belong to prior to becoming an advocate and building a team in advocacy. Azure Core is the core infrastructure area that supports Azure, obviously. And we roll up to Garish Mablani. So that's kind of cool. The reorg happened, and we're back in town again. We get to reach out to all the folks that I've been working with before just to see how everybody is. Pretty neat. Yeah, that's kind of it for me. It's been busy as I've been traveling, trying to keep Wi-Fi signal and cell phone signal to stay on top of conference calls as I'm driving between locations. We started in Toronto, did a concert on the weekend for Alan Doyle from Great Big Sea, which was an amazing concert on Saturday night. Then visited friends and relatives over the weekend. On Tuesday, we went to Hamilton to see my dad, working out of a hotel in Hamilton for a couple of days, and then moved up to Parry Sound, way up north in the Georgian Bays, to be able to see some friends up that way. And then finally coming across to Ottawa and Gatineau's, where I am right now. So we head home on Sunday.
Nice.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, you broke my doorbell.
Yeah. I happened to crash and invite myself into Pierre's house, and he made a phenomenal dinner for my wife and I, which was quite nice.
Yep. And we taught our daughter, we taught my daughters and her friends on how to drink bourbon.
Yeah, we were doing some bourbon samplings while we were there.
You didn't have Mr. Campbell with you, did you?
No. I was talking to Rich yesterday, actually. He's flying today to go off to another conference someplace over in the Europes. So he sends his regards and regrets that he could not join.
Yeah.
But the second segment of the show is known as Beer Money, which is the tech support you do for your friends, your family, your friends' families, dogs, cats, guinea pigs, second cousins twice removed, because they happen to know that you work in IT. And everyone gets asked to do tech support once they find out you're in IT. I was talking with my brother-in-law, and he is a registered massage therapist. And he says, we get the exact same thing when people find out that you're an RMT. Okay,
It hurts when I does that.
I got this thing on my shoulder. Can you like it? It's like, no, I can't. It's like, can you fix my printer? No, I can't. So
actually, I can help people with printers.
Oh yeah.
Unplug them, take them out to the garbage can.
Kind of crazy. So for me, it was doing a lot of assistance and help for my dad. He's 85 years old in assisted living, cleaning up his environments, processing a lot of different files didn't need to have access to anymore, got rid of old software, making sure his antivirus and his ad blockers were correctly working on his Mac Mini. Yes, he's a Mac person, unfortunately. Limited tech support I can do. But doing stuff like that. And I also did some tech support for my father-in-law, who we met for coffee. He's, I don't know if Pierre, do you remember? I asked and you gave him a phone.
I gave him a phone.
What age was that Apple? What Apple?
That was an iPhone 5.
So he has an iPhone 5 he's been using for forever.
He's still using it?
He's still using it. He does FaceTime calls and stuff with it. But his current partner was talking about how it's difficult to get a hold of him because he doesn't answer it. I'm sorry, Jared. You need to grab that. We can wait. So he'll be back. He's using the same iPhone 5, but there's some issues with the fact that he doesn't know about how it works because he's really not technically inclined. So the ringer's not working, but he can receive text messages or iMessages or whatever it is, and everything's fine. But the funny thing is, I'm like, well, what's wrong? She's like, well, whenever I call him, he never answers. I can't hear it. He's like, well, it buzzes, but it's in my bag. It's in my wallet. I can't hear it. And I'm like, give me the phone. So, he reaches over and he hands me the phone. I look at it.
A little switch on the side.
I'm like, see this little switch here? When it's red, that means it's off. So flick the switch. And then so we flicked the switch. His partner went in and gave him a call and then magically it rang for the first time, I think in probably 3 years. So sometimes even the simplest of things. And so that made me realize that this is a really good business opportunity if you wanted to have a side hustle, because apparently we're all supposed to have side hustles these days, right? You could do tech support for the everyday common person if you wanted to. The downside and danger of it is you have to have a hell of a lot of patience that I don't know if I have anymore to be able to support it. That's been the biggest part of my beer money while I've been on this trip, is just helping out some of these folks do stuff. Although I tweeted earlier today, or I threaded, or whatever it is that I do these days, talking about possibly doing the show from the dock. And I was thinking about how I could go and extend a cable down closer to it and then putting a travel router on it or something to be able to get better Wi-Fi signal. But I decided not to risk the speeds to get it to work. Always fun. Always fun. How about you, my friend Jared? Your close proximity to other relatives and things. I'm assuming you had beer money go on.
I had beer money going on like crazy last Friday as my sister and her family were prepping for a cruise.
Oh, okay. Getting all their travel kits sorted out.
All the travel things, make sure we have enough chargers, make sure we had the right chargers, make sure this and that. And the phone call was my mother wondering when I was coming over today. That's why I actually had to take it.
Always take your mother's calls.
Exactly. And I've been trying to help her. Unfortunately, you talk about patience. The patience is waning trying to help mom with her cell phone. Because she has hearing aids with Bluetooth. And so my sister and I have set it up so when she answers the phone, it goes straight to the Bluetooth. And she always wants to change it to the speaker. She goes, I can't hear it when it's in
the ears.
In the ears, and it's like, how can you not hear it if it's directly in your ears? I'm like, oh my god.
Because that gets confusing with all the other voices.
That's what happens to me. So, Pierre. So I do have hearing aids for assistive hearing. I don't have them in right now. I have the same thing. So I'll be walking around talking with people and having coffee with them, whatever it happens to be. And then the phone rings in my ear. They can't hear that it's ringing. And then I answer it. And then I kind of turn away and have a bit of a conversation. And they're like, what are you doing? It's like.
Exactly.
It really annoys my wife and my kids when I do that.
And it's understandable.
It's very, very handy.
I don't know how she says she can hear it better when it's coming out the speaker of the phone instead of directly in her ears.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it, but that's fun.
I taught my father-in-law about the speakerphone option. He was only trying to crank up the volume to hear it through the regular speaker up above.
Right.
He didn't turn on the speaker phone version, and he was like, mind blown. Mind blown.
No, and she has just general problems. She does not grasp the concept of a smartphone and hasn't ever, which makes it difficult. So now, because she doesn't have a computer. But she doesn't have a computer anymore, so she's disconnected from everybody and everything because she does, and she's also got macular degeneration, which is hurting how she can see, so she can't see stuff. I mean, I look at the phone and like it's the font is so big.
It has 3 icons on the homepage.
Yeah, exactly. So,
how about you, my friend Pierre? Any regular beer money for you happening these days?
Oh, right now I've got beer money from some of my teammates. They're stuck at somewhere and pinging me on Teams and, hey, I need your help now. I'm like, I'm doing the show.
Nice.
But
I give you permission to drop off the show and help the teammates as your skip level boss if you need to do that.
It's okay for now. But you can hear the ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. That's my team on my phone going on. It's nothing urgent.
Okay.
Beer money, other than my mom, it's been very quiet. I've been doing a lot of beer money for me because like my skip broke my doorbell, so I had to replace it. And I did take the opportunity. I did take the opportunity to say, "Oh, do I replace it with a $3 Home Depot regular doorbell, or do I make a big hole in the drywall on the inside of the house, fish the wire out, put it through the brick, and then order a Ubiquity G4 Pro,
Right.
which is what I did."
Right. But so you went for the big thing. Because
Oh yeah.
that's just normal. And I will, in my defense, say I only was mashing the button about 15 times trying to get the thing to ring before I gave up and knocked on the door. So I think
what he hasn't told you.
I think the wires were loose before I got to it.
Possibly.
Pierre, what he hasn't told you is the last 5 attempts he was using a sledgehammer to push the button.
Well, if technology can fail at any time during its lifetime, chances are it's going to fail when there's a clause around.
Yeah. I have a certain aura about me that just kind of when the aura intersects, that's when things get dangerous, right?
Yeah. But I'm very appreciative because it gave me the opportunity to justify to my finance minister. Because I don't have a secretary of finance, I have a finance minister because I'm Canadian.
Right on. Yeah.
That this was a required expenditure.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to hear more about the doorbell installation process and how it works on your socials, my friend. Because it's pretty cool. Like just even today, we're traveling. My son and other kids are back at home. He texted me and he says, "Wasn't that cool?" I'm like, "What?" So I go back and I look at the Ring camera, and it turns out he had just managed to leave the house to walk to put some cat litter inside the garbage. Just as he was doing that, the garbage truck was coming around the corner because he had forgotten to put the garbage out. And by the time he got the bin down to the bottom, put by the side of the road, he was able to go back in the house, get the garbage from the kitchen, bring it back out again, throw it in the thing just in time for the claw to come out, grab the garbage can, dump it, and then put it back in again. And I'm like, "Sir, that is a Gold Star award. You are in good hands in training to be the next average suburb dad has to do garbage." Because that is literally the optimal. That's like go home and crack open a beer and have one kind of thing. Celebration right there.
Yeah.
Celebration.
I have to admit, I've been having to do all of the garbage and recycling for my sister.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, dang, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, Thursday nights for me is usually quality time in the garage, breaking down all the boxes for me.
Yeah, it was Monday night was getting garbage ready to go out for Tuesday morning. Tuesday night was getting recycling out for Wednesday morning.
Yep.
And then Thursday night, I decided, there's only one bag of garbage. It can wait till next week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and put out the garbage.
Nice. Well,
but when the four of them are here, I could see it being totally full every day.
So from a personal view on beer money type stuff for support. I'm also doing support for myself. It's been a while since I've been on the road doing some things. And it kind of bridges into the next one, not necessarily beer talk, but the random spending thing. So I'll save it for then. But has been trying to figure out what my travel kit is when I'm traveling. So realizing I'm missing this or I'm missing that and how I get this to work. I'm rusty, man. I got to get myself back in line again. Take some extra training. But that brings up the next segment, which is the one that Scott Legwig normally drops off for. So Scott, you're welcome to disappear for about 5 minutes as we talk about some things known as Beer Talk. Beer Talk is, do we have a URL for that? There we go, Beer Talk. Beer Talk is where we talk about different types of beer that we might have had over the last little while. And for me, it has been recapturing and going back to some of the beer that I miss that I can't get down east or down west when I'm back in the Pacific Northwest is my favorite, which is Steam Whistle. I'm a fan. made out of Toronto. So I've had a couple of steam whistle while I've been here. Very refreshing Czech Pilsner. Very nice to have. Only get it in Canada, mostly in Ontario, but you can get some on the export side. The rest of the place where you happen to go. And Pierre might remember this one from ages ago. I also had an 1862 from Kitty Vitty Brewery.
Oh, yes.
So Kitty Vitty Brewery is a small little town and a brewery that is next to St. John's, Newfoundland. And a friend of mine who had been there recently with her family brought back some Newfoundland beer, knowing that I was coming, and decided to share some. So I had some very nice Kitty Vitty. Again, it's a multi Czech Pilsner, which is quite nice. And damn, it was good. Kitty Vitty. Any particular beverages of note that you either of you gentlemen might have had recently?
I've been kind of concentrating on different kinds of bourbons lately. I've been, well, mostly because all the beer I had in my fridge suddenly disappeared when my daughters decided to have a pool party at my house.
So that is a danger that happens as you get older.
Yeah,
and more importantly, as they get older.
As they get older, so they cleaned me out. I had a chance to like restock a little bit before you came over on Saturday, so there was some steam whistle in the fridge.
Yeah.
But no, I've been kind of like sampling different bourbons. Of course, we did polish off my prize and joy on Saturday, my gold Blanton's bottle.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. Very smooth. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And right now, my go-to these days is a really nice Weller, a weeded bourbon.
Just reaches down by his work desk, grabs some bourbon.
Well, it's because it's the same desk I play Call of Duty on the weekends with. So the bottle's on, but it does remain unopened during work days.
Okay, just making sure. DJ Eddie is recommending something called Mango Cart has been his go-to. I don't know if that's a bourbon or if that's a beer. We'll have to look it up, I guess.
Cart. I would.
Mango Cart. Okay, and I will, if Scott Legwig wants to come back and turn on his headphones once again, I understand that you did stop by and visit the other half of the Patch and Switch show, who is not here today, most recently. And I have seen pictures of the fact that you were inside of some tiki establishments inside of Las Vegas. So tip of the hat to you, my friend. I'm looking forward to being able to do that at some point, both with you and Joey at some point in time, because they definitely look good as far as a couple of nice tiki drinks that were in there. Very nice.
Tiki drinks are dangerous.
They are dangerous. And I'll do one extra, but it's not beer because it's non-alcoholic. I've been sampling different styles of non-alcoholic beer made by Athletic Brewing, which is actually kind of interesting. So that would be my one alternate that I had not really experienced before. They're actually pretty freaking tasty. So not too bad. Performance beer for athletes.
So Mango Cart is a wheat ale, so it's kind of like an AZ fruity kind of thing. Nice. From California.
Gonna have to try it out.
Yeah, I haven't been doing any partaking of too many beverages. About the only thing I've been doing is sitting out at night with some sugar-free hot chocolate and maybe a little peppermint schnapps in it.
Oh, nice.
To just enjoy the evening outside.
Nice. That's nothing wrong with that. Sounds good, my friend. Sounds good. And again, I'll do the official homework of, don't forget, folks, if you're interested to contribute to the name of the next show, exclamation mark or bang word, and then put in the words you want to use for WorkSafe that we will then randomly choose. Normally, Joey just kind of picks them. We might have to come up with a new system this time around, but don't forget, get that in there. We're coming up on the last given stretch of what's going on in this super exciting show, known as random spending for this section. Random spending. So for me, I'm going to contribute random spending. I think I can show you this. This was something I picked up not too long ago to try to help out with working on the side. And it's just simply a very nice, simple 15-inch
USB-C monitor.
USB-C monitor that works without power because it receives the power from the laptop to be able to give me a second screen, which is very handy to be able to do work on the road. It's only a 1080p version. I got this one here. This is by Inohill or Inehill from the Amazonians, some unknown brand name. You've got one of those as well, I assume, Pierre. It looks like the Asus.
And the Asus 14-inch.
Yeah, I'm
perfect to fit in the backpack.
So this one's my wife's, and she uses it when she travels. She's a project manager for Nike, doing rollouts and stuff like that. So she needs to have multiple screens when she's working. I'm actually contemplating getting the 16-inch version of the 4K version, just because I like more pixels. So that might be some random spend in the very near future for me.
Nice.
Because it fits in nicely, it doesn't require a power supply, and just gives you extra pixels to work with while you're working. So
no kidding.
Very, very cool.
I'm lucky in the fact that I'm at my sister's place, so I had shipped out a monitor.
Oh, you shipped out a monitor ahead of time.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And I have a full working setup, including I got a USB hub stuff in here, but I actually bought something for this trip.
Yeah.
Because I have noticed something. I can power all of my computers off a USB-C. So I got an Anker 100 watt.
Yeah, I've got one of those too. I've given up on my Surface Power Brick just to use one of those. It's so much nicer.
And it has two USB-Cs and a USB-A.
Yeah.
So I
can
actually
power... 100 watts total, or is it 100 watts per...
100 watt total.
100 watt total.
But I'm able to power my Surface Pro or Surface Laptop 7 and my HP Firefly 14.
That's pretty cool.
And then HP Firefly is my saw that I have to have for secure access.
Yeah.
My saw is a Milwaukee, and there's like an 18 volt. It's in the garage right now.
Yeah, very nice. So that little power device that you have goes in my bag. It's a staple. I've got a couple of USB-C Anker longer cables to be able to run power from it. Next to my bed, I have a 3-in-1 charger device that also takes USB-C, and so I use that power device to power that particular charging device, and that allows me to anchor my phone as a screen, or just charging it, put my watch on the charger and the AirPods on there too. And that way, when I move to the next location, I just simply unplug, fold flat, goes inside the bag, works great.
Yeah, I have a 6-port USB hub that I've always carried around with me because I have so many devices that charge off of USB in one form or another.
Yeah. I got 3 of those. I got one that's double-sided taped to the top of my desk because you need something and just plug it in. So it's the 6 ports there. I got one on my bedside table, and I got one that's permanently wrapped in that little bag in my suitcase.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm listening to you talk, and I'm looking at the chat, and it turns out we had like Kowski suggested the word saw, and then Johnny Chips suggested the word saw, but then Cooper comes in and says paw.
Yep. Good old J-Flow. Yep. Because
that's Cooper.
Cooper has a paw, not a saw. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Yeah. So the one thing I do miss that I don't have. I'm curious, Jared, if you have this. Are you using a pad, or do you have a separate mouse?
I actually bought a keyboard and mouse to leave here.
Oh yeah. And
it makes sense. Everything I have set up, my brother-in-law uses.
Yeah.
So that's why I have everything set up here. But when I travel on the road, I do have one of the old Microsoft mice that bent.
Oh yeah, the Surface.
The flat. Nah, it's not a Surface. This one's Arc.
It's called the Arc.
Yes.
Arc mouse. Yes.
Flat. It turns off by folding flat, or you crick it open and it turns on to be able to make the attachment.
I think we all have one of those.
Yeah. No, I love those. Those are great.
I have about 20 of those.
I used to give them out as anymore. Did we stop making devices like that now? Damn.
Yes, and the designs have been sold to a third party, and they're supposed to be making them, but they haven't started yet. So I bought a Logitech keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Coolness. Mr. Mr. Roman, any random spending recently besides the Ubiquiti doorbell?
Well, yeah, but that spun up other.
Oh, there's a
Random
cascading random spending.
It's cascade spending.
Okay,
Because
cascade spending.
the doorbell is outside on the other side of the brick wall. So the Wi-Fi signal, because the AP is at the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up having to justify to my finance minister the Ubiquiti Swiss Army knife.
Nice.
Swiss Army knife?
Yeah, it's a very tiny little AP, so access point. So it's right here. I haven't installed it yet.
Yeah.
The little access points, but it's both indoors and external. You can pop open the top, and it's completely waterproof. To put external antennas, directional antennas, and other kinds of antennas. So if you want to like focus the signal or something like that, PoE, the whole bit. So I'm going to mount that on the inside wall in the front of the house so that the doorbell has something to connect to.
Nice.
Yep.
And of course, you've heard the echo because that was my new NTG4 microphone.
My
Talked about that
coffee
last
is
week.
empty. My coffee is empty, so we're getting close to the end of the show. I do.
Yes, we are.
But I will mention, thank you very much for all submitting words. If you haven't done this already, because you haven't seen the chat message, go to patchandswitch.showbot.tv, and you can vote for which words you like the best. And we'll be looking at those in just a moment. Oh, actually, no, we're going to look at them right now. Thank you very much. For possible words to be able to use. And catching up with the stream, look at that. Blame Elon currently is up there with a couple of votes. Are you a cowboy? RTFM in a variety of formats. Content, Canucks, Pivot, Flick the Switch, Saw, and Bang, as they say. Maudit Française, not sponsored. You can see the list. Hi, Mom, Broken Doorbell, Tiki, Ma, Pa, Bourbon, everything else. Well, I want to do an homage to Cooper, and Cooper's, I don't believe, ever had a word chosen, so we're going to choose Pa for one of those words at least. Pierre,
Okay.
I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick a word, Pierre.
I'm gonna say Maudit Français because it
fits.
It's with the beginning of the show and how it's going.
There you go. And then the final word, we'll leave it up to Mr. Audio Guy, Jared Shockley. What do you think?
Democracy.
I think RTFM.
I think it works.
We'll choose. We'll choose both of them. Just to be nice. But
RTFM.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you so much, folks. That's going to be good. Now, I don't believe that we can rely on the individual known as Announcer Boy to go through, but for all the folks that have been chatting in the chat room, we very much appreciate you coming out. For the folks that are still here, I'm going to look at the list because I can't scroll. My monitor's not large enough to see who's been interacting. But hey, thanks for coming out. Absablog and Lootly. DJ Eddie, thanks for joining this episode. It's been great to see you, my friend, talking to you this week. Exchange SME, Fairbrit from across the pond. Oh, look at that. Goatee PFE joined us even there, too. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah,
GoGo Gadget 360. Janice Q7 joined us from across the pond as well. KC McFerrin. And other folks that I might have missed. Thank you so much for joining us today. Pierre, appreciate you. Thanks for hosting me over the weekend. Appreciate you. Mr. Shockley, we shall connect when you're back.
Yes, we shall.
Looking forward to having a nice campfire and a chat, my friend.
Yep.
And with that, thank you so much for joining, everybody. And what is it that Joey says? Have a
weekend, everybody. So are they going to let you back into the country here?
Oh man, I got advanced access and everything. Look at that view, eh?
It's beauty, eh? Take off, you hoser.
Not bad.
Be careful with the cobra chickens, eh?